Right then, hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you episode number 5 of our Race Driver Grid walkthrough. Grid number 1, the absolute classic that is this game. Now last episode we actually did I think 3 events. In all honesty I cannot remember what they were. I think it was an American Club GT race, I think we did a European open wheel race, and we may have done a pro-tuned event in Japan. We actually managed to win all of them, and as a result we now have 308,000 in the kitty, which is actually enough to buy our own GT2 car for when the next Le Mans race comes around. We're going to go ahead and do another race event. I think there will only be one race event, and then it will be the Le Mans 24 hours. Don't quote me on that. If that's not the case, then there'll probably be some sort of disclaimer on the screen right now. But so we're going to go ahead and do an American race to equal it up with the European category. And as you can see, 2 races in Washington. Now, if there are any events that you want me to do after this episode, including ones that I've already done, you can go back and do events that you've already done in future seasons. So if you want me to go back again and do Demolition Derby, then just drop it in the comments section and I will do that for you. Nevertheless, we are doing a new event for today, and it is I don't know what the sponsor was. It is the Quick Shift DC Challenge Touring Car Championship. Right then, round number 1 of this 2-race event. Keith Graves of Hudson Tech is the man directly in front of us. I'm guessing we're starting at the back, are we? Yes, we are indeed. 12 out of 12. Apparently he, though, is the guy we should be looking out for. We're off the line, and it is an absolute shocker of a start. No progress made, but that's a nice run through there. Oh, whoa! That was sick. A lovely drift up the inside of 2 cars there. That was quite nice. People braking and getting very close together. We're going to go up the inside of David Cooper there. He's a very good driver, actually, in terms of the driver rankings, but not doing amazingly in this race. Going past Mike Miller as well, as he got well out of shape. Next up is Ryan Fields. We've got a much better run out of the corner than him. Going to go up the inside as well. Of course, all the cars in this field are Chevy Lassetti, so no disadvantage to any of the other cars. So it is going to be quite difficult to work our way through the order. I've just realised our number is number 7, and I'm not actually overly sure why. I think I'll change that. Decent amount of progress made on that first lap. 5 positions gained from 12 on the grid. Oh my word. It's all over. I think it's all over. I think it is absolutely all over. That's a massive crash, and we had absolutely no part to play in it. Oh my word. That is massive. We can't. We cannot survive. We cannot continue, I don't think. We're either going to have to retire or it's just game over. We cannot turn to the left-hand side. We actually cannot turn to the left-hand side. So I think we're going to have to park up. And what, my word, a massive crash. And we've just been collected, in all honesty. We've just been absolutely collected. Unfortunately, I can't show the replay now. But I'm going to retire. So a premature end to our first race of this event and our first DNF of the entire series so far, after someone had a huge accident in front of us and we were just too close. There was just absolutely no way we were going to get out of the way of that accident happening. Unfortunately, we're going to have to rewind all the way through. It was such a promising start as well, making 5 positions on that first lap. You can see some of them being made. Going down this home straight, we were quick through the first corner, and you can see, if we just change the camera angle, this green car, he goes really wide into the corner, gets well out of shape, goes straight into the wall, spins it, and I mean, there's just, once he's spun, there's absolutely no way I can avoid that accident, and we absolutely pile drive into the side. You can see the suspension breaks on impact, and oh my word, the green car then comes back across the track, gets hit by another 2 cars, so how he stayed in the race is completely beyond me. A massive crash. Keith Graves, who I think was the guy we're meant to be watching out for, he ended up with similar damage to us but managed to continue, and a puncture as well. That is the end, thanks to that green car there spinning right in front of us and just completely KOing us out of the race. So it's 0 points, first race of the event. Honestly, I would have continued because I know you don't get points as soon as you press DNF, but we literally could not turn left, and the majority of the corners on that track are left-hand corners. There are the results. Unfortunately, 12th and last, no points due to that DNF. Oh man, and we obviously have failed all of our sponsor objectives through absolutely no fault of our own. Race number 2, Chris Black, there in the Sun East car, sponsored by AT&T. He's the one we're supposedly watching out for, but there's absolutely no way we can win this championship whatsoever. A top half finish, I think, in the event overall is what we can aim for. Just try and get a win or a podium in this second race and just damage limitation, basically. Try and claim as much money as possible, but we're not going to get much, put it that way. We do start further up the order this time. Bit of wheel banging here with the Ferodo car of Ryan Fields. That's Keith Graves' teammate. He was, of course, involved in that accident as well in the first race. The walls seem a little bit less close to the track, so hopefully we won't get similar accidents happening. There's Chris Black, the Scotsman, who's leading the championship going into this one, passing his teammate there. Carl Davis, oh, we got well out of shape there. Actually hit Chris Black and got well out of shape. Loser position, I think, overall. Chris Black still in front of us, going to try and get back through, but it all got a little bit messy there as people broke a little bit too early, but back up the inside of him we go, back up into 7th place. Just going to try and get in the slipstream of him, perhaps, go around the outside or something. We do. There's another spin there as well. Thankfully, we're not involved this time. We are catching this group of 4, though. Tyrell Keefe in the DHL-sponsored car as the man leading. We're going up the inside of Mike Miller. Next up is David Cooper. 1 corner to go before the final lap of this 3-lap race starts. We got the inside cleanly there as well of David Cooper. So up into 3rd place already with only 1 lap to go, and it's Tom Wibley in front of us, Mr. Wibbly Wobbly. Teammate to Mike Miller, we're going up the inside of him. That's a clean move as we go across the bridge and up into 2nd place. I'm going to try and go up the inside of Tyrell Keefe down into here because we've got a much better run out that left-hander. We go through but then go on the grass and Tyrell Keefe manages to get back through again. Perhaps down into this left-hander if we can just keep it together this time. Make a block pass instead of him getting the switchback. We do, bit of a barge out wide, but it's all fun in love and war, especially in touring cars. Getting very close to that inside wall, but just about surviving through more luck than judgment. Anyway, into the final corner there we go. We're going to come across the line to win. Pretty decent damage limitation, it has to be said, after the retirement in the first race. And we do grab the win then. No retirements in that race, which doesn't particularly help our cause in the championship. But still, hopefully, you never know, it might be enough to get us back up towards the top-ish of the table. We've obviously not won the championship because the man who was leading the championship didn't retire. So obviously it would have been extremely difficult. And in the end, we did actually take 4th in the championship. Tom Wibley won it in the end, so make fun of his name at your peril, because he's actually a pretty decent driver. Tyrell Keefe, the man who came 2nd in that 2nd race, he was 2nd in the championship overall, and Chris Black, the race 1 winner, was 3rd. We take 4th. We do at least get some money from our sponsors, and we didn't have to pay anything in terms of buying the car, so technically we still make a profit out of the event. Only 9,000 XP points go in the ARL pool. There's the money we got. We did actually get a bit of prize money in the end, 13,200 flashback bonus as well, which means we get a total of 32,600 when added to the sponsorship payout. So nothing then in terms of new sponsors. We will continue up again, but as you can see, it is now time for the 24 hours of Le Mans. Let's make sure we can end on a much higher note than we did in that last race. Do we have enough money? We do. We have enough money to get a Panos. We have enough money to get a Spiker. We don't have enough money to get a Lamborghini, but I think that is a GT1 car anyway. Unfortunately now I can't write a song about having a Lamborghini, but can you not buy Porsches then? Can you not buy Porsches? Is that not a thing? We're going to go for the Spiker bonnet. So we're going to see if we can get something online on eBay. That's only been wrecked once as well. Hasn't got many event wins in terms of events entered, but surely that depends on the driver as opposed to the actual car. So we're going to go ahead and buy this one for 261k. That seems the best value for money, given it's only been wrecked once. I don't know if that actually affects the performance of the car. I've never actually known that about this game, but nevertheless, it is time for FNG Mana Motorsport Racing's first taste of the Le Mans 24 hours. We are here then with our own team. Jörg Bergmeister is the man to watch out for White Lightning Porsche. For those who wanted me to buy a Porsche, for some reason it would not allow me. Nevertheless, we are 3rd on the grid in class with only Jerome Blakemolen and a Porsche in front of us. Then it's Bergmeister, another Spiker, Roman Dumas, and then 2 Panoses. As we go down into turn 1, Roman Dumas is trying to get round the outside, bit of contact, but we do hold on to the position. We have, of course, lost the net position to Jörg Bergmeister down towards turn 1, so we're only 4th in class, but still, obviously, a long way to go as we get on the gravel there slightly, actually. But 4th in class then, 13th overall. And this is our debut for our actual team. The first Le Mans 24 Hours in Season 1, we had to drive an invitational Porsche. This time, it's a whole different ball game. We're here with our own team for Spiker, not a factory-run Spiker. And those belong to Jeroen Blekemolen and Donny Cravels, but we are an independent entry. It looks like we've got a better exit though than Jörg Bergmeister, so that's 1 position gained. Though we lost that position right at the start, so technically we've not gained any positions at all. But Bergmeister seems to have a bit more straight line speed in that Porsche and goes back through. And it seems as though we've got 1 extra car this year. I think we only had 7 cars last year in the GT2 class. It seems as if for Season 2 we've got 8, which is quite nice. Giving a bit of a bump there to Patrick Bourdais. And it actually forced him out wide to the point where Blekemolen's gone through and we followed through as well. 5-way full-on scrap for the lead with Donny Cravels a little bit further back, and then it's 2 Porsches towards the back as well. We're going alongside Blekemolen down into this left-hander, but Blekemolen holds on to the position. And Richard Dean, of course, is a man we had a monumental battle with last year, as well as Gunnar Jeanette, actually. I don't know where Gunnar Jeanette is. He ended up spinning off on his own, which sort of gifted us the lead in the class. And we held on to that lead in the class from about the 6-hour mark, or the 7-hour mark, all the way to the end. Richard Dean has passed us, though, in the panels through the Porsche curves. We are 3rd in class as we go towards the end of the first lap. Bit of a bump there for Richard Dean, trying to get in his slipstream. No, that was not meant to rhyme. Jörg Bergmeister's managed to get up into 4th place, so he's passed Patrick Bourdais, who's had a pretty poor first lap. Started 1st in class, and he's already down to 5th already. Lovely run, though, out of the first chicane, and we've got back past Richard Dean alongside Jeroen Blekemolen in his factory Spiker, in our independent Spiker. Blekemolen just about keeps it at the inside. Great battling, though, between ourselves. Bit of a bump there as well. The panels of Dean just behind us. Then it's the 2 Porsches of Bourdais and Bergmeister. Richard Dean again in that panel, showing off that great straight line speed. Probably the only thing I was thinking when I was sort of contemplating, should I get a Spiker or a panels? The panels is so much quicker in a straight line. But of course, we want it to be a challenge. So if we're going to go for the worst car on paper, as Blekemolen backs it into the wall at the end of the chicane, that's going to be big damage as well for the youngster from Holland. He's slapped it into the wall, into the tyre barrier, and surely that is his hopes of the Le Mans 24-hour class win out of the window, because he's a long way back and he's already got a lot of damage as well. Right then, we are still 3rd in class, going through the Porsche curves. Richard Dean going very wide. Interesting line through there. He holds on to it. Patrick Bourdais is still in 2nd place. He had a very up and down 24 hours of Le Mans so far. We're actually already, it's creeped up on us. We're already halfway through. It's already going to be getting slightly lighter here, as the 3 Porsches actually, or the 2 Porsches have gone. Drop back slightly, Richard Dean. That's surely the end. That is surely the end of Richard Dean. He lost it under braking and he's piled it into the barriers. Absolutely piled it into the barriers. I was talking about the fact the Porsches have dropped back. We've been hit. We've been hit as well. And it's disaster. Patrick Bourdais has completely just ruined, I think, our chances of winning this potentially. We've got so much time to gain back. Blekemolen's way behind. Richard Dean is surely just out of it outright, but Bourdais just swiping across us, and we've spun off into the gravel. Thankfully stopped the car from actually rolling, because the car looked as if it was about to roll. It got up onto 2 wheels, and now we're going to have to battle back through with 9.5 hours of this race to go. We're just under 5 seconds behind Romain Dumas. If we can get back towards touching distance of them, of that group, then we could still have a chance. Blekemolen is actually still running, and he's a full 9 seconds behind me as well. 7.5 hours, though, of the Le Mans 24 hours to go. And we are getting back towards touching distance of Romain Dumas, and especially now because he's spun it at the end of the 2nd straight. And there's just disaster striking the GT2 category at the moment. You can tell some of these guys are perhaps the least experienced in the field. We've just got to hope that either the guys in front start battling, or that we can just get the pace together to catch these guys. I reckon there's still about 3.5 seconds up the road to them. So we've bridged the gap a little bit, but is it by enough, really? Just under 4 hours then of this race to go, and the leader is actually starting to stretch away. I think we might be able to catch the top 3, but the leader has stretched away by an absolute mile. It's Jörg Bergmeister in front of us. Donny Cravels is in there as well in the Spiker. and then it's a Porsche as well. This is it. We've got with these guys now, not in that sense, but we've got towards them now. It's Patrick Bourdais, Jörg Bergmeister and Donny Crevell, and it looks as if we're trying to challenge to make it 4 abreast here, down towards the chicane. We go past Donny Crevell and the other spiker. Bourdais and Bergmeister now to our right hand side. We got the inside of both of them. Can we hold on the move on both of them? Yes, we can. So we hold on then to second in class. Gunnar Jeanette, though, is an absolute mile up the road. We're not going to catch him. There's absolutely no hope in hell that we're going to catch him unless there is a spin or an incident or some sort of drama for Jeanette before the end of the race. So Gunnar Jeanette then with just over 20 minutes of the race to go, looks as if he has it even. We've now got to look over our shoulder because Patrick Bourdais and Bergmeister are challenging us for second in class, but in the end it is going to be second in class. It's no win, no fairy tale on our team debut, and we take only second in class, crucially really after that accident with Patrick Bourdais. But in the end, Jeanette goes from last in class on the grid to winning it. Tom Christensen wins the Le Mans 24 Hours overall. A fairly competitive LMP2 class ends with Didier Andre on top. Nelson Piquet Jr. wins the GT1 category from Thomas Enger and Pedro Lamy in all Aston Martin category. But Gunnar Jeanette wins by, in truth, an absolute mile from anyone else. From ourselves, for FNG Racing in the Spiker. A decent debut for the team. It could have been better, but not too bad in an 8-car field. Bergmeister third, just about, in front of Bourdais, then Crevell. Dumas binned it and Blake Molan binned it. They were 6th and 7th, and Richard Dean binned it in even more spectacular circumstances, probably to the tune of being a solid lap down in the end. He did actually manage to finish somehow, but clearly with a heck of a lot of damage. There you can see then in terms of the sponsor objectives, unfortunately we do not pass our Goodrich, Apexi and Firestone objectives. We do pass Fila and InGen Technology, however. 85k then in terms of prize money. It would have been 100 grand if we'd have won, but 85k is not too bad itself. 4,700 in terms of sponsorship money. So then season 2 is officially over. 3 event wins, I think, in comparison to 5 in our first season. Not too bad. 288,000 in terms of money won and 105,000 in terms of reputation earned. Slightly more disappointing than season 1, basically from this episode, to be honest. That race in Washington, where of course we had the first DNF of the series, and then the fact we only came second in the Le Mans 24 Hours in our class. However, we are all the way up to 343rd in the world, so we were in the 500s, of course, when we started. Then we were in the 400s at the end of season 1, and now we're in the top 350 in the world, and actually sandwiched between 2 drivers that we actually raced against in that American Touring Car Championship, being Tyrell Keefe in front of us and Mike Miller behind us. As far as the top of the rankings are concerned, though, it is Nathan McCain who is up to first in the drivers' rankings. Jack Scott up into second place, the Goodyear Race Engineering driver. Marcel Fassler, it says, is up to third, but I'm fairly sure he was the man at the top at the end of season 1. Hans Fischer there, 4th for Luminition. Rick Scott all the way down in 5th for Raven West. That won't be too pleasing for the Raven West guys. Then it's Imamura, Stefan Sarazan, Tom Christensen, who won the Le Mans 24 Hours this season, then Darren Turner and Stefan Ortelli. In terms of the team rankings, we are up to 115th. I don't know where we were before, but we are 115th, whatever the circumstance. I think we were about 150th at the end of last season. And in terms of earnings, 37.7 million going to Raven West. They are top at the moment in front of Luminition. So then it is now time to start season 3. We won't be getting that underway in this episode. We'll be starting season 3 for next episode with the new livery that comes along with it. That is pretty much the end of today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it, though it was slightly disappointing in some regards, that accident, the DNF in the first race of the episode, and then obviously not winning the Le Mans 24 Hours, but still promising. Second in class is not too bad at all on our team debut. If you have enjoyed, though, feel free to hit the likes button, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and comment about enjoying the video if you've enjoyed it that much, as well as suggesting maybe some series that I could be involved in future, if that's what you would like to see. Nevertheless, it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.